All right, welcome back. A little while ago, we dropped an explainer about an EV driver who managed to cut their fuel costs by over 97%. Yeah, you heard that right. And the number one question we got was okay, that's insane. But is it a fluke? Can it actually last? Well, today we're answering that question. We've got the updated numbers, so let's dive in.
So, Section 1, the 97% savings question. It really all comes down to this single question from our last analysis. Was this a lucky break, or is it something real, something sustainable?
Okay, remember this number 97.35%? That was the massive saving on fuel costs we saw over the first 6 months. It sounds too good to be true, right? And that led everyone, including us, to ask one really important question.
Was it a one-time fluke? Just a perfect storm of lucky breaks that you could never ever repeat? Or has this driver actually figured out a strategy that works, month in and month out? That is exactly what we're going to figure out today.
Okay, so before we get to the new data, let's do a super quick recap. Section 2, the story so far. This will get everyone up to speed, and it's the foundation for everything we're about to show you.
So the car in question here is the XPeng G6 Long Range. It's a great EV, for sure. But as we quickly learned, the car, well, it's only part of the equation.
Just to put this on a timeline for you, the whole thing kicked off back in March. Our first report looked at the first 171 days, which brought us up to August. And now we've got another full month of data, bringing the total up to 201 days.
And this right here, this was the big secret. We said it in the last explainer. The key to the insane savings wasn't just having an EV. It was a smart, deliberate strategy of using free public charging stations. It wasn't about the car. It was about the habit.
Which brings us to right now. Section 3, September's data dump. Did the strategy actually hold up? Did our drivers stick to the plan? Or did they finally cave and have to start paying to charge? Let's find out.
And here you go. This is the charging log for all of September. Just look at that last column on the right. Cost, 0. 0. 0. Another 0. 5 times in 1 month, the car got charged up and the cost was absolutely nothing. The strategy held perfectly.
So let's just quickly check the performance for September. The driver put about another 1,000 kilometers on the car. Total charging cost? A big fat 0. And all of it came from free public chargers. But here's the other really important bit. The battery's state of health is still at 100%. No change. So there's no damage being done to the car. The car is happy. And you can bet the wallet is even happier. All right, so the verdict is in. We've seen this strategy hold up for another solid month. Now the big question is, what does this do to the overall savings? Let's look at the updated numbers.
So here's our new time frame. We're looking at a total of 201 days of driving, covering just over 7,600 kilometers. And wow, just look at this chart. The difference it's just staggering. That tiny little sliver on the left, that's the total cost for the EV. It's still just that $44 from way back at the beginning. And the big bar, that's what an equivalent gas car would have cost over the same distance. We're talking almost $2,000.
So, what does that mean for total savings? The math is pretty simple. You take what you would have paid for gas, over $1,900, and you subtract what you actually paid to charge the EV. Just $44. That leaves you with a total savings of $1,866. Incredible. Okay, and here it is. The moment of truth. This is then versus now. Back in August, the savings percentage was 97.35%. Now, after another month, it's 97.67%. It didn't just hold steady, it actually went up. That's the proof right there. This strategy isn't just sustainable, it's getting even better the longer it goes.
So let's just put that new number front and center, 97.67%. We can officially say this is not a fluke. This is a trend. This driver has wiped out almost 98% of their fueling costs over 201 days. Just let that sink in.
So, what's your charging strategy? We've answered our main question. Yes, this is sustainable for this driver. But what does it mean for you, for the rest of us? Because this whole story is about more than just one car. It's about a completely different way of thinking about how we fuel our lives.
Now, let's break down the path to these kinds of extreme savings. And look, we have to be real here. This isn't going to work for everybody. It totally depends on whether there are free chargers where you live and work. But the blueprint is simple. Step 1, know your routine. Where do you go every day? Where do you park? Step 2, identify the opportunities. Scout out those free chargers nearby. And step 3, and this is the absolute key, be consistent. You have to make it a habit.
And that really is the biggest takeaway from all of this. The technology, the EV itself, that's what makes these kinds of savings possible. But it's the strategy. That's what actually unlocks them. So that's the update. One driver, one very specific routine, and over $1,800 saved in about 7 months. It really just leaves us with one final thought, a question for you to chew on. Looking at your daily drive, what do you think you could save?